I'm like, she's not selfish. She takes care of others.
He's checking boxes, dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's really cool. I'm like, I like Megan.
That is really nice.
And you see her tie her shoes, doesn't know how to do it. You're like,
I'm like, Megan,
doesn't know how to
Megan.
tie her shoes.
Time to rip the Band-Aid before we make it to 5th grade.
It's over, I think.
Welcome back to another episode of The Careful Boys. What was the way that you understood or you perceived like wifey material when you were in your early 20s versus like in your 30s or now?
In my early 20s, it was just a butt, like a nice butt.
So just any gender.
That's why he works with Bart so well.
I was his wifey.
Not
Hole's a hole.
great parameters.
For reals, in their 20s, you didn't have anything else past the butt. You were just purely...
No, it was like,
No, come on, Bart.
I don't think I was even thinking about dating to marry until my 30s.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was just, I live in the moment, you know? I'm not thinking about like, I'm going to marry this person.
What was dating for then? Dating is just whatever's having fun
Just
now.
crushing, dude. Just crushing.
Just
Fucking
crushing
and playing.
Oh.
Yeah, like literally like,
and playing.
and then enjoying life together.
Oh, okay.
And then so like,
Because starting when I was in elementary school, I thought everything was supposed to be you're supposed to get married.
Dang.
I thought it was so easy for me to
Real
break
Christian
off,
boy.
break off relationships. Because like within like 3 months, I'm like, this isn't gonna go where I think it's supposed to go. Peace.
he's like, she got bad grades.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
She thought a C was good.
Yeah, all my relationships was so easy because I'm like, where is this going? What are we gonna do? Just be fucking and sucking all day? And I was like, peace.
That's a good thing to do, though.
That's great.
Well, I always
dude.
had it in my mind where it's like you're supposed to go through a lot of trials and tribulations with people, and then they're gonna be right for you at different stages. And I was like, bro, I'm like 20 years old, and this person is dope for me right now. And I that's what I was thinking. But in general, I wasn't thinking much about future in other aspects in life either. Like I wasn't thinking about my retirement, my house. Like, you know, some people plan it all out. I think I always just lived in the moment. So that's how I approached relationships is like, do I like this person because they're fun to hang with? Yeah, let's hang even more. And then it just so happened that you hang with them so much that you're together for 2 years. So I don't know. I never really put much thought into it. But did you guys plan it all out? Like, were you like ready for like every single person I'm dating, I'm gonna marry them?
I didn't plan it out, but the way that I viewed it is when I date, I felt like I'm putting this Band-Aid on, and the longer we stay together, the more it's gonna hurt when I rip it. So I was really scared to get to the 2-year mark and then we have to rip it.
Mhm.
So I was like, if we're gonna be dating and having such a great time 2 years in and I can see that we're gonna have to rip it, I'm like, we might as well rip it now. So that was always like how I viewed it. Because I didn't want to go 3 years in, 4 years in, and then fuck, it's not working. And now we're like, oh, my heart hurts, your heart hurts. We almost made it, but then we didn't fucking make it. What the hell happened? I didn't want to get to that point. And then so I think my gauge ever since even in high school was because obviously you're really dumb when you're like 16 or 17, but the same theme that actually crossed all the way from 20s to 30s and 40s was, could I see this person being the mother of my children?
And when did you start thinking that?
Like fucking 8 years old.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Seriously?
damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So even like when I'm with my, like, let's say you play house with your friends or whatever. I had a girlfriend when I was like 8, right? And then I would see like her open up her lunch pail and she had string cheese. And then like she gave it to her best friend first. I'm like, that's dope.
Wow.
I'm like, she's not selfish. She takes care of others.
He's checking boxes, dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's really cool. I'm like, I like Megan.
That is really nice.
And you see her tie her shoes, doesn't know how to do it. You're like,
I'm like, Megan,
doesn't know how to
Megan.
tie her shoes.
Time to rip the Band-Aid before we make it to 5th grade.
It's over, I think.
What about you? What were you going to say?
Well, no, yeah, I think just in response to that though, I think that's why like the random societal system that we've all developed of like dating and then making somebody your girlfriend and then being engaged and then being married, or like that 4-step process. I think that's what it's like designed for in a sense, right? It's like the Band-Aid gets ripped off like at the dating to girlfriend or official part, right? Because if you're dating somebody, you're dating somebody. You're it's trial and error, and you're just having a good time, and then maybe you'll vibe past the good time.
Yeah.
You know, and then from there, if you're like gonna ask somebody to be like your partner, like your significant other, your girlfriend or whatever, that means you're hoping for love. You know, it might not come, but you're definitely hoping for it. And if you're hoping for love, you're probably thinking about marriage subconsciously. You might not be like, yo, I'm trying to like have kids with her, but you're just like hoping that it's just gonna go to the next level. I think.
Oh, and I was scared of loving someone that wasn't good for me. Because I think love to me comes not easy, but like I can see myself getting there, you know? So I had like, especially in the phase that I was in 15, 16, where you're doing fucking like hood rat type shit. All the chicks that I was into were hood rats. So I'm like, fuck. Imagine having the mentality, I'm down to die for this bitch, and that bitch sucks. So I'm like,
She has a C average and shit.
yeah, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't want to be like, cause you know, at that time, it's like how down you are, right? So like, if Nick and me were in like the same gang or whatever, I'm down to take a bullet for this motherfucker. But this guy's also a meth head sucking dick for fucking crack, and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna end up having to take the bullet for this guy.
So you can suck dick.
So that was my mindset.
That's what your life is gonna be, dude.
A meth head sucking dick for crack.
You know what I mean? Because if you're down for your homies, you don't distinguish the homie. The homie that's a valedictorian, I'm down to take a bullet for you too. The other homie that is always getting in trouble, always like start stealing other gangsters' chicks and stuff, and is always getting jumped at clubs, you're also down to take a bullet for him too. And I started to realize,
There's no nuance for Bart.
I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking fall in love with the chick that's gonna pull me.
Yeah.
No, because it's like if you're that type of a committed person, where it's like when I commit, and then they are not worthy of that type of like commitment, then I can kind of see where you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I don't want to get myself, because I stick to my obligations regardless of how shitty they are.
Yeah.
Or that's just the part of the learning curve. You're that type of person where you commit, and then you get screwed so many times, and then you're like, I don't commit that easy anymore.
Yeah.
I still commit when I commit, but now I just don't commit easy.
Yep.
And that's the whole part of learning. Nick's an anomaly, so okay, I think we can excuse the romantic story at which his existence is. But that's at 15, 16, like, how are you gonna know what you're supposed to fall in love with when you haven't learned who you are yourself? All right.
I knew I was retarded. So
That's an anomaly too.
when I was 15, 16, I knew I was retarded. I knew I was 80% retarded, but there's still like 10 or 20% that was self-aware enough to go, don't believe everything you see and feel right now. And I would always tell myself that.
How many percent retarded are you now, though?
Now maybe 50-50.
Nice. That was good numbers.
Progress, man.
He's not less retarded. It's just one who can acknowledge that he's retarded is also just lightweight genius.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I did go like you know when you're a kid, you're like Integra type R, you know. There's a part of me that's like, you're only gonna like that now, you stupid fuck, you know. And I'm like, that's true.
You don't like it now?
Right hand drive is pretty sick.
Did you see how much that sold in the auction?
I know, dude. Fucking like 100 or 200 grand.
You shitting
Yeah,
me?
no, it's
Yeah, holy shit.
freaking
If we only
crazy.
kept our childhood cars.
But we wouldn't have kept it that nice.
No.
Hell no, bro.
I do remember when I was in like my first like really long-term relationship, and I was like, I want to marry this girl, right? Like you have your settings and you just understand something. And then for, whatever reason, the relationship don't work out. And I just remember immediately thinking, okay, these are all the problems, because you never look at yourself as like being the biggest problem. You're just like, oh, this is what I realized that I need for myself. So now I have this invisible list of check boxes. And the next person I started dating like fulfilled all these check boxes. And I was like, yo, like my list is good. And then for whatever reason, I just couldn't get myself to like see myself falling in love with this person. I really had a good time. We were dating for like 9 months,
Oh wow.
but like I just couldn't pass some invisible threshold, even though she checked all the boxes. And then I was like, I think my list is ass.
Is it a chemistry thing?
Yeah, what do you think
is
it was?
I think it's just like yeah, maybe chemistry and feelings can't really be put into a checkbox in a certain way. You can kind of add details that might define some things that lead to it indirectly, but like the perfect chemical concoction for like how you're gonna actually mesh with them, like that's just a feeling.
Can I add a checkbox to that list and tell me if it changed everything?
Sure.
If she was a very spontaneous, randomly just gives you blowjobs out of nowhere.
That's the trick, honestly.
That was on the list.
And she did it too?
Yeah. It was great.
That's a keeper.
That's a good Carfax, no?
I've been in a similar experience.
Salvage
where,
title.
like, for both of us, everything checked off. And we're just like, but why is it that it's just there's something like there's a wall there. It's just weird. And then I just think there's emotional and like just there's vibes and things that you can't really check off on a list. Like it's not a job resume, you know, it's like you got to vibe as people and see the world the same way. Because for me, it took the trial and error to know what I needed as a partner. And it wasn't until like way later where I was like, oh shit. So my actual criteria, and I think this will be pretty constant for a lot of people out there. If you can find someone that's like, one has a, well, at least for a female, right? Like, from if I were to date again, it's she has a solid fucking relationship with her father and her brothers. That's a big one, dude. Because, like, I saw a huge difference when, like, they don't. And you'll be dealing with a lot of the trauma that they went through. Unless they healed from it, that's completely different. That actually makes them better. But that's a big one. Another one is they have to have a hobby or they have to do some shit on the side from work. When they have, like, hobbies or, like, they go, like, volunteer or do something, they have a purpose that's bigger than them. Because I think people become hedonistic. Guys, too. If they don't have, like, a thing to do, I think they become, like kind of destructive. Because you just want to consume. You just want to drink. And that's, like, a lot of corporate friends that I have. Like, they don't have a hobby, so they just fucking get wasted on the weekends. I think that's a big one.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah. I know.
Sounds like a bunch of chill guys.
Sounds like me.
Third one is they have to have friends. So, like, a lot of people,
I don't like that. I like them isolated.
so you could fucking control them.
Of course.
I like them to start out having friends.
And I take them out one by one.
But, like, pay attention. If they don't, it's a red flag if they don't have friends that are, like, they've been friends for, like, 5, 10
Old
years.
friends, yeah. People with no old
Yeah.
friends scare me.
Yeah. Especially girls that's like, oh, I'm like one of the boys. I don't have any girlfriends.
Wolf.
You need to have friends of both genders, specifically friends that are not frenemies. Watch how they fucking chill with their friends and what they talk about. Because I realize those frenemy girls, man, they can fuck them up. Like, they'll say some crazy shit and ruin their relationships because they get jealous and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, stay away from those. And then I think that those three things really, like, I was like, okay, if they don't have that, they're going to be a solid person.
That's a good list.
That's his checkbox. But also spontaneous blowjobs is probably on that list.
Probably. No,
That's,
yeah.
That's gay, though.
Shut up, Ryan.
Have
Shut
you
up,
been
dude.
with the
Scheduled.
Scheduled only.
Have you been with the same chick for so long? Would you say you looked for the same things?
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
how did you
For
know
sure.
that she was gonna be the one that goes through all those decades?
Well, I think what Anthony was saying and what Joe was saying about chemistry, I think we were just drawn to each other, like, chemistry-wise. Like,
Oh.
we just always had that, I think, for whatever reason.
She got lucky, man.
That's what I'm saying. But then also, too, I was also looking at the things of who Tiff was. Like, she was a family-oriented person. When she would go, like, when she wasn't out going to parties on the weekends, she was always with her family and her family parties, whatever the fuck, right? Hanging with her cousins, whatever. And I was like, okay, that checked the box. She's not a little, little hoe in these,
Hussy.
in
Yep.
these streets. But at the time when I was like 17, like 18, 20, like, that was important.
Yeah.
Can't be fucking a
It
whole
is
football
impo-
team.
It is important.
Because, like, I would go out to these parties and stuff because I would do all that stuff. I would go be social and I would, like, be like, man, I would hate it if my girl was out here. You know what I mean? Like, you see the debauchery and you see all the craziness and you're like, man, like, I don't think I could date any of these chicks. Like, that's what I was thinking in my
I
head.
didn't like clubbing, but I went because I thought that's what you're supposed to do at
Me
that
too.
age.
Me too.
But I didn't like it ever.
I didn't like it. And I was like, this is whack, whatever. And then the other thing too was just her values of who she was as a person. I'd be like, oh, she was really sweet. She was way nicer than I was. I was kind of, I was like the rude one. And she would kind of like soften me up. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like all those things. But then we were dating for so long. It took me 10 years to fucking propose to her, which is kind of a long time. Because in my head, I'm like, I don't know yet. Like shit could happen. Like
Anything could happen.
and in my head, I was thinking we were dating when we were in high school. So a lot can change from beginning of high school to like your late 20s, right? And we were getting her a career. She was very motivated. She was always working. She was always like, she was a badass in school and work. And I was like, man, like this chick she's on top of it. So like all those things made me like, love her more and really see her as more of a partner as we got older. And then after we got married and when kind of shit hit the fan a little bit in our lives where random things pop up and unexpected turmoil, right? Then you start to see who they really are as a person even more. And you see how we kind of like hang with each other and stick with each other when there's hard times. So that kind of solidifies or changes how you see your partner as you get older too. Because I feel like once you think about marriage as an adult, it really is like how hard you could stick with your partner during fucked up craziness. Because, there's only going to be more of that as we get older and as we have kids or whatever. So I think for me, it was always like, yeah, we'll see. Like it started off with good, like a really good foundation. And we just got, like you said, just got super lucky.
That's crazy. You leased the car for 10 years.
Yeah. And I was
And
like,
every 2 or 3 years, the car's like, do you want to just buy it? You want to buy the lease? Nah, I'm a lease for
You're like,
another 3 years.
I plan on buying it, but I'm not going to sign it. And
It's already paid off. You might as well just own it.
It's like, no, I'm gonna keep leasing.
I like my payments actually.